The Baby Rock, let's check it out. Rock Island Armory is the largest manufacturer of 1911s in the world. One of the things that they've come out with over the past couple of years is the Baby Rock. And this is a 1911 and it's in 380 ACP. And one thing I want to bring up right up front is that Rock Island Armory is based out of the Philippines. They have no relation to Rock River Arms, which a lot of people have thought that Rock Island Armory is part of that mess in Illinois, but they are not. That is Rock River Arms. Now, ever since I saw the Baby Rock at the NRA annual meeting, I guess it's been about 3 years ago, I've really wanted to get a hold of one of these. I love 1911s. You know, I grew up shooting 1911s. That's really where I learned to shoot pistols. So it was really a natural fit for me. This is very similar to the Browning that is the little 380, but of course it's a heck of a lot less expensive. So first thing we're going to do is make sure the gun is unloaded. We're going to drop the magazine and we're going to check the chamber, and the gun is unloaded. Now the capacity is 7 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. I was actually during the whole range time putting 8 in the magazine, and it functioned very well. I did have one mishap early on where one of the rounds didn't extract. After that, I didn't have any other issues. So, you know, this gun is a brand new gun. It was the first time I'd fired it. It does have a Parkerized finish, and it is all steel. So while it's small and it is fairly lightweight, or at least the balance belies it, it still weighs about 27 ounces. The grips are rubber, and they are very comfortable in the hand. I don't know if you can get aftermarket grips to fit this, but it's really, I would leave these grips on here anyway. With the Parkerized finish, it kind of has that utilitarian look to it, and I think the grips fit well. The barrel has a very distinct chrome finish to it. You have front cocking serrations, which make this really nice, and these are definitely usable. Now the slide serrations, even though they're only 2 at the front, they are easy to grab because they do have some depth to them. And then of course here at the back, same thing. And you can see they're pretty aggressive as far as depth. We have a commander style hammer, and the beaver tail is just nice. I mean, it really rides up in the hand, and especially with a pistol of this size, because it is a smaller pistol and 1911, having that beaver tail really helps to keep from getting that slide bite. The back of the grip is rounded off just a little bit instead of coming straight out. It's not really a bob, but yet it's just tapered off. And it just rides in your hand really nice. It's really thin, like the 1911, that single stack magazine, and yet it's just I don't know, I just really like the feel of this. And of course, again, guys, I'm a big 1911 guy. I mean, I grew up shooting 1911, so this just feels like home to me. Now it's 6 3/4 inches in total length, and it's about 4 3/4 inches in height. And to give you a size comparison, I have one of the Colt Mustang Pocket Lights, and this is one of the originals, but you can see it's definitely a lot smaller than the Baby Rock. But one of the problems with the Colt for me is whenever I would shoot this pistol, I would inadvertently hit the safety. And so I had to learn to shoot it with just holding that safety down. And that's one of the things I did not have any issues with this safety. It's a good solid safety. The way the gun just fits, it gives you enough grip to where you're not riding it up on the safety. But here we have a standard officer's model size, and as you can see, it is considerably smaller. The slide thickness this way, and of course the other way, because of it being 380 compared to 45 ACP. So this just gives you a good size comparison. This is also a Rock Island Armory pistol, which is excellent. I did a review on this a while back, and it does have Hogue grips on here, which are just nice wood grips. Now the sights are kind of a Novak style sight. They are blacked out. And then we have the front blade, which is enough to really be able to get a good sight picture. Now for me, I will probably add a little bit of white to the front here just to give me a little more contrast. But to be honest with you, it was not difficult at all to pick up that front sight. And I don't know what other sight options you could have. I don't think that these are standard 1911, but you know, it doesn't really say on the website. The finish itself is very nice, even though it's a matte parkerized finish, so it just has that utilitarian look again. One thing I did do, I had it in my range bag and it got caught on some, I think this was a magazine, and it kind of scuffed it just a little bit, which is typical for your parkerized finish. One of the things Rock Island Armory's done too is their logo. They've reduced it. On some of the early pistols, it was all the way across like a huge banner across the side of the slide, but they brought that down really nice. It's only on one side. And then we have Rock Island Armory here with the serial number, and then we have the model. And this is the actual model number. It's the M1911A380, but this is known as the Baby Rock. And the mags do release very well. And I think a lot of that has to do with this stainless finish on it. It's pretty slick, polished, and so it makes it really easy to insert and then easy to release. And with the magazine out, there's no magazine disconnect, which I love. Okay, let's check the trigger pull. I'm going to remove the magazine, double check, make sure the gun is unloaded. Now I have to depress the grip safety to get a true reading. 4 pounds, 14 ounces. 5 pounds, 2 ounces. 4 pounds, 15.7 ounces. I want to thank Freedom Munitions for supplying the ammo. You get a 5% discount using Suit00 when you go to freedommunitions.com. I'm also going to be using some American Eagle and some old HPR and some different loads. Now we ended up shooting about 300 rounds through the Baby Rock. A lot of standard full metal jacket, but also a lot of jacketed hollow points, more like self-defense loads. It fed them all. I did have one malfunction that was pretty early on, and it was just where the last round, when it came up, it just didn't extract the round, the shell. But after that first box, actually, you know, we had no issues whatsoever. It was very reliable. I love the way it felt in the hand. The recoil pulse was really nice with the 380. And I'm used to shooting 45 ACP, so it was kind of a nice change. But definitely the size makes it just excellent for concealed carry. You have that grip safety, you have your safety in the same place, you've got a nice beaver tail, and the grip angle is still the 1911 feel. So it really just fits in the hand like a 1911, but much smaller. All in all, I'll have to say that the range time with this pistol was just a lot of fun. The low recoil, the quick follow-up shots, again, the sights were very easy to pick up, and of course the accuracy was really nice. And I want to thank ShootSteel.com for providing the targets. You can get a 10% discount using Suits00 at ShootSteel.com. We're going to disassemble the firearm. This is a 1911 design, so it breaks down in the same way. Make sure the gun is unloaded and check the chamber. There's no magazine. I'm going to leave the hammer back and then just bring back my slide just a little bit. Now right at the front is your recoil spring plug, and you depress it and then turn your barrel bushing right here, and you turn it to the 9 o'clock position, and then we're going to pull out our recoil spring and plug. Then we're going to turn that bushing this direction, and then that allows it to come out. Next, we're going to bring the barrel back into this little notch right here, and then we're going to push our slide stop out from the other side and then just pull it right out. Then we let our barrel assembly just go forward in our slide. Here we have our recoil spring guide rod, and we have our barrel, and it comes straight out. Now immediately you're going to notice that this is a linkless design, so it is a little bit different than your standard 1911, which has a swinging link right here. And then we're going to go ahead and pull our recoil spring out of our plug. And here we have the gun fully field stripped. Definitely the old school design, so it's just a little more complication, but guys, honestly, it is not that big a deal. Now for reassembly, we're going to return our barrel back into the slide. We're going to take our guide rod and slide in our recoil spring. We're going to leave it just like this. Now we're going to put the slide back over the frame, and then once we get that little notch into place, we're going to bring this back and we're going to snap it in. This is one place where a lot of people will scratch up their receiver when they're trying to put that in. Now we're going to put our barrel bushing, and again, it has to be in this direction over about 5 o'clock. Now because I've inserted my spring over the guide rod so I'd know that it was in place, I'm going to have to depress that spring. And then I'm going to turn my barrel bushing just like we had it before, and then I can release the spring. Then we're going to take our plug, put it back over, depress it, and then bring our bushing back into place. And then it'll snap just like that. And then guys, function check, and you're ready to go. Now as far as price goes, the MSRP is about $460 on these pistols. They are not necessarily abundant at this point. I haven't seen a whole lot of them out there, but typically they're running about the $375 range, something like that, maybe a little bit less. But these are comparable to your little Browning 1911 380s. They're running about the $575 to $600 range. So you have a considerable difference between the two. Now there are some other pistols that are actually smaller, more about the size of the Mustang, including the Colt. The Colt Mustang runs about $500 plus. Your Kimber puts out a 380, it's about $5 and up. Then your Sig P238, that runs around $5, $5.5, or and up. So you know, if you're talking about $375, it's a pretty significant difference. Now as far as pros and cons go, the price would definitely have to be a big one as far as a pro. Under $400 for a pistol that has a lot of contemporaries that are in the $500 up to $600 range. The quality is good. Rock Island Armory has some good quality, and it's very utilitarian. I mean, it's one of those pistols that you don't really worry about messing up. You're putting it as a truck gun, or you're taking it fishing or camping with you. It's just one of those guns that's just durable. The sights are excellent. The Novak style sights with the front blade. It's enough to where you can see it and get on target, but yet it's not going to snag. I like the details with the beaver tail, which is extended, and the commander hammer, and a semi skeletonized trigger. Trigger weight's really nice, and then of course with the front serrations, and these are deep, good serrations front and back. So that's a real big plus as well. And I like the magazines. They're just well done, they're very smooth, and they insert and come out very quickly. And the quality is there. I mean, except for that one little bobble, I had zero malfunctions. I mean, it just ran like a top. Now, as far as cons go, the finish is just a Parkerized finish, has the rubber grip. So, again, it is very utilitarian and not very flashy, but, you get what you pay for. So, if you want something with a little more polish and refinement, there are other options out there. Another con would be possibly, trying to find aftermarket grips for it. The rubberized grips are fine, but if you're looking for something different, I'm not really sure about sight options as well. But the good thing is this should fit any of your Browning holsters, so that's not necessarily going to be a problem finding a good holster. It is an all steel pistol, so while it is smaller and it's going to be easier to conceal carry, it does have some heft to it. Again, 27.5 ounces, that's something to consider, but the size belies it, and really it helps tame the recoil. One thing that is a huge plus is that it has a limited lifetime warranty on it. So if anything goes wrong, they'll fix it. Now, again, Rock Island Armory is located in the Philippines, but they do have a factory in Nevada, and that's where they do all the warranty work. So that's one of the great things about this, and they do produce a really nice line of ammunition, arms core ammunition. And of course, in a world of polymer frame striker fire pistols, it is the old single action like the 1911. That can be a plus or a con. It's just according to who you are. But guys, as I always say, check out other reviews, see what other people are saying. It helps you to make a well-rounded decision, and again, it keeps the YouTube gun community honest. And I want to thank Rock Island Armory for sending this pistol for the test and evaluation. If you're a big 1911 fan already, this makes a perfect choice as a concealed carry, especially if you're looking for something much smaller, but you still want to stay with the same muscle memory, same controls of your standard 1911. And then with the .380 caliber, this is a great round, especially for those like that really don't want a lot of excessive recoil. Really female shooters, this would be a great gun, something that you really want to hide back for concealed carry, and to make it small. It's going to be easy to carry on an everyday situation. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America, long live the Republic. Springfield Armory, Rock Island Armory is the, people have gotten the Rock, and of course it is very expensive with the last round. And I don't know if it was just over, they don't shoot out, but okay. I'm gonna leave the hammer. But these are comparable to your Browning high power, and then your SIG, and then your SIG P, to bring it up to the 9mm.